Hello everyone, this is Mitali from Complete Open Source Solution. Today I am going to present in front of you the topic containers and introduction to OpenShift. Prior to that, I will let you know about myself. This is Mitali from Complete Open Source Solution, and I did my certification on OpenShift and Cloud OpenStack, Red Hat Cloud. Including that, I did my certification on automation toolset, Ansible, Puppet, configuration management, or you can say that is another automation toolset, and including the RHEL 6 certification, RHEL 8, I upgraded myself. With the new things. Here my journey not stop. Again, I am adding a point over here, like advanced Ansible, that is nothing but the tower part, that because these are my area where I regularly deliver the training. Open enrollments batches and regular batches, I'm conducting the training program with this. So this is all about me. Let's start today's session with introduction to containers and OpenShift, because these two part are the prerequisites for our upcoming DO280 session. Uh, not the basic prerequisites. If you check in your soft copy, it is mentioned over there that you have to, prior to this course, you no need to be do any certification. It's not mandatory, but yes, equivalent knowledge of Linux and the basics of Kubernetes or containers you must have to know. And I'm happy to say here, this course now it is included in our basic Red Hat Enterprise Linux module, this containers part. And yes, it's a very good thing that system admin people also exposed to this thing from the fundamentals or scratch. So without wasting time, let me start the session. So I just mute my video here, and I just share the screen. Let me connect to the machine so that I will open some pictures so that it is easy to understood what exactly the container is. So before starting this container, what you people understand what exactly the containers, how it comes to the market, and why we are going for this container technology. So as I add a point over here, if in my earlier batches I took, when I come across the students, they are telling that yes, we know about the containers, and they start containers. I just know the Docker containers like this. Okay, so here I have to add a point that why we are introducing this container technology. So that what we are earlier days, what we are using now, and why we are moving to this technology. So prior to that, let me sure that you can able to see this picture. Okay, fine. So I hope that all of you can see this picture, a diagram. Earlier days, I am just distinguishing one traditional operating system and one is containers. If you look into 5-10 years back, for example, all of you are, I hope, system admins here, how we are deploying software application. How we are deploying software application, the software application typically depend on other libraries, or you can say configuration files, or you can say binaries or services provided by the runtime environment. When traditionally we are deploying any software application in Red Hat Enterprise Linux, we are using the packaging systems like I can say here RPM are used to help to manage the application dependency. And suppose for example, if you want to configure a web server package, so for that you have to need the HTTPD package, and the RPM system ensure that the correct libraries and the dependency for that package is also installed on top of your host operating system. Okay, so in this figure you can quite easily see over here libraries. If two application you are running on top of the host operating system, then you can say this application, all the dependence libraries or configuration files or binaries, everything to be loaded on the host operating system. So it's a quite cumbersome process, okay, to deploy the application. So we are moving uh, what is the error comes here, what the challenges we are facing. So the major drawback I can see in the traditionally deployed software application, okay, so if two applications are running, okay, if two applications are running on the same system, suppose application A and application B, uh, then uh, what happens sometime, these two application might require different version of the same software. Different version of the same software means versions of supporting my application version supporting software is required. But yes, in my host operating system, it is when I deploy these two application in a particular system, and it may require different version of the same software, then that is not compatible. Okay, I can say surface attack area more, and it's not compatible with each other. Okay, one application run, one application cannot. Okay, so so here I just make a point over here to overcome or to resolve such kind of issue, to resolve this kind of issue, some container, okay, container terminology comes into the market. Okay, so to what container will do, container means you don't go by a definition. Just imagine, it's nothing but a container. What you understand, suppose you are traveling from, or you are just you are moving from one location to other location, and you have to shift your all the households to that particular location. So what in that case you are using, how you are, because in household accessories you have to wind up and you have to move from one place to other place. So which one is the easier method? So you immediately call a packer and movers, and you have to wrap it. And how to easily can identify, okay, these are my kitchen accessories, this is my means glass accessories, or this is my instruments. I have to package all the things, and I have to load it on that packer and movers. Okay, similar concept here, I am saying the containers is coming, that's why the name is called container. Okay, that is used to package and deploy the application as a container. Okay, so a container is a set of one or more processes that are isolated from the rest of the system. So I can define the containers in various way. So prior to that, let me share one more picture in front of you, that it is good to understand when I am comparing, the traditional operating system. Then one more terminology we are using, virtualization. Next to that, I have to go for the containerization. So where is that picture? Let me share. Okay, fine. So in this book, I have to refer one nice picture that will differentiate the traditional processes with containers and virtual machines. Okay, so traditional processes, as I said, and you can see here that earlier days we have to host operating system, what are the required hardware, and our operating system is not about the kernel. Okay, it's all about the kernel, sorry. So and where services are loaded, then applications are running. Okay, so each applications have the runtime library. Okay, suppose this application, as I said, some some of the version is supported with application 1 and might not be application 2 or run on the same system, but that is not supported with that part. So that raise a incompatible state. So we are moving towards the virtualization. So what exactly virtualization is nothing but uh, on top of single operating system, or you can say on top of host operating system, you can run multiple operating system. This These virtual machines sorry, these virtual machines are nothing but the operating system on top of single operating system. If you run multiple operating systems simultaneously and the task is isolated from each other, task is isolated means if you are running application one on and you have to on top of your host operating system you are running multiple operating system, but how it is possible? So here we are using a software called hypervisor. Suppose you are exposed to VMware application or Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, similar way, kernel virtual machine or hypervisor providing this virtualization technique to run the multiple OS on top of the single OS, and including when this OS is loaded, it will carry the OS kernel, OS services. Okay, its OS library and applications runtime library and special purpose library, and here I can make a note. Containers provide many of the same benefits as the virtual machine, such as security and storage and network isolation. Everything is similar as per your virtual machine. Both the technology isolate their application, right? So you can see here, okay, in this picture it is clearly you can get some idea. Both the technology isolate their application libraries runtime resources from the host operating system or hypervisor or vice versa. Okay, so what the difference between, if you can ask me what exactly the difference between containers and virtualization. So in the virtualization it enable multiple operating system. I'm repeating the word multiple operating system. You can distinguish from this picture. It will enable multiple operating system to run simultaneously on a single hardware platform. Okay, so it will put a heavy load on your host operating system, and it require a complete operating system environment to support the application. Okay, so if application is running means entire operating system support, it's again put a load, I can say, required more resources. Okay, hardware resources, it will consume more CPU, memory, storage, all sort of things as required. Next I come across the containers. So containers run directly on the operating system. It share the hardware and OS resources across all the container. Okay, so what you can see in this picture, in the host operating system, what this one sharing, we can run directly on the operating system and sharing what the operating system resources across all the containers on the system, and share the same operating system kernel and isolate and containerize application processes from the rest of the system. So there is a developer, they can use any software compatible with that kernel. Okay, so this is the big overcome conflicts. Now it is resolved with the help of container. Now I want to define the containers in various way. So if I am going to define the container as a operating system perspective, I can say that container is nothing but a process. Container is nothing but a process running inside the sandbox, and container processes are isolated from your host operating system. Here the host operating system terminology refers that either it is a physical machine or it is a virtual machine, or you can say any public or private cloud based instance where you can run your containerized application. So so when your container is running as a operating system perspective definition, you can say it is a process running inside the sandbox and the process is isolated from the host operating system. How it is possible? So this is possible with a technology of kernel, that is nothing but called the namespace. Namespace is isolating all the container processes from the host operating system. For example, the containers process ID, or you can say group ID, file system, or you can say here what I can say, interprocess communication, these all things. And next question comes here: who manage the resources inside the container? Who will help out to manage the resources? So there next comes into the other kernel feature of Linux, that is called control group or C group. So C group will manage all the resources of your containers. Next to that, and resources in the sense you can interpret here uh, your CPU utilization or memory, or you can say storage. Okay, so these all are nothing but the resource management done by the C group. And what about security? So security is maintained with the container with the feature called SC Linux or secure computing. Okay, as you people are already exposed to secure enhanced Linux, how it will give the file, folder, ports, and process level security. Similarly, SE Linux also give the container security as well. And also, if you want to learn in advanced module like DO425 is the container security course from Openshift, and also Kubernetes CKS that is already developed. Okay, to give the container security means having some capability or vulnerability check. Okay, or providers method like LDAP or some token granting system. So these all kind of security we have to not discuss in this forum. But yes, I just ensure that yes, there is for security purpose for secure computing, various cores are designed from Red Hat and Kubernetes as such. So this is the definition from the operating system perspective. So next I come to how I define what is container as a system admin perspective. So I can mention here as a system admin perspective, you can define a container. It's just an application. It's just an application. Application in the sense either it is a Java or you can say PHP or HTTP application, any middleware application. Yes, you can run middleware application, Node.js, any database application. Yes, MySQL, PostgreSQL, any application, you can run the application any environment, anywhere. So here I can say portability is the beauty of containers. Portability is the beauty of containers means we can build and ship our application easily in any environment. Okay, so why this, how it happened? So here make a point, the containers in as compared to virtualization environment, containers consume very low footprint hardware, very less resources, CPU, memory. Okay, so that's why it's a very lightweight thing you can say, container. So that's why you can build and ship easily the containers. This is the definition I can define container as a system admin perspective. Next, as a developer, as a developer, how you define what a container is? As a developer perspective, containers is nothing but what, how we are packaging the application, how we are building the application or building the image, how we define the code, how I define the code dependency. Okay, so so here I am using some image, how to build the image. So image can be any format, universal format, you can say custom image, application image. Okay, so how I write a Docker files, how I write the code inside that. Okay, so this all how we are packaging the application, we can define what a container is as a developer perspective. Now I can make my, just let me open my whiteboard over here to make some point notes. I'm using AWW app, which where you are comfortable, you can make your note. Okay, so I add some point here. After the definition of container, now earlier I just discussed, and I just diverted my discussion over there. As earlier batches, if I ask some of the candidates, they just interpret that containers are nothing but Docker containers. So I bit pause here. So Docker, okay, if you can say Docker, so Docker is nothing but a technology. Okay, or you can say Docker is a tool. Okay, so Docker is a tool to manage the containers, means you can start the containers, you can stop the containers, you can log out, or you can create the containers, or you can download some of the container images. Okay, so for that we are using a tool Docker. Similar way, if I ask a question, how you are running a HTTP application in a Linux environment, Linux operating system. So first point, you have to start that I have to install the software. Okay, I have to using some package manager tool, I have to install the software. So while you are installing the software, that software, from where, which location you are getting that software? From the yum repository. Okay, from the ISO image file. Okay, so you are getting some repository, you are you in that repository you are mentioning some path where you are giving the DVD contents or ISO image location, and then you are going to that. But how my container will run? I want to run a container. So for that, what is required? Container image. Okay, container image is required to run the containers. So in a nutshell, yeah, I want to say here that after the definition, okay, so what is container image? So container image serve as a blueprint for creating the container. So let me write over here: serve as a blueprint to create containers. Okay, so I need to create a container from the container image. So container image, what it will packaged. Okay, the container images package an application together with its all the system libraries. So let me make a note over here: all the system libraries that is required by the application, or you can say programming language runtimes. Programming, I just use the short form. Okay, if any typo error, please just ignore here, because so programming language runtimes. Okay, and you can say programming language runtimes, or you can say libraries as well, or you can say configuration settings. All are packaged, okay, as a layer. Configuration settings. So from where I get, and how I manage, from where I get the location. So not only the Docker. Okay, so Red Hat initiated a tool or developed a tool, and that is called what? Podman. Okay, so Podman is used to manage, is a tool is used to manage the containers. So why Red Hat developed a tool Podman? Cannot we go for Docker? Okay, so yes, in the Docker, in the first point I wrote over there, it is a tool to start, stop, log out, and pull or download the images from the registry, and you can push. Okay, you can push to the registry server. So why Podman? Okay, what exactly the Podman will do? As I know that container images are nothing but the bundle the application together with all its dependency, as the mentioned over here. What are the dependency, or you can say that container images are immutable. Immutable means you cannot change. Okay, these files consist of all the required code and dependency to run a container. But to manage that one, why I go for Podman? Because earlier I am using Docker. Okay, so Podman is directly manages the containers and container images. Directly manages the container and container images means, suppose in Docker I just make one difference here, not you are stopping with one difference. Okay, in the Docker there is a daemon. Okay, their daemon is running. Like you are controlling other daemon, like systemctl restart httpd stop httpd or sshd daemon background service is running. Similarly, for Docker is a client server architecture, where if you want to make any changes, you have to be sure that you have to systemctl start stop, and you have to make your hands dirty with have to interact with the daemon. Okay, so start and stop Docker service. So there is no such complicacy using this tool called developed by Red Hat to manage the container and container images is called Podman. And another benefit for learning this tool or using this tool, you no need to remember some extra command. Just it is a replacement the keyword where we are using Docker, same place we are just replacing the name with Podman. Okay, suppose we are writing Docker pull and we are giving the image path. Now we just use the Podman pull. Then we have to give the registry path where the image is located. We have to give the registry path. Okay, so using this tool we are managing the containers. Okay, so in my next not next section, I will elaborate with a good example how to configure these things in your personal laptop, how you execute this thing. And if you are using any Red Hat system you are accessing, you can get the local registry access also. Fine. So now I understood here. Okay, container is nothing but a application running from the container image. And yes, and that container image is available where I'm mentioning that you have to use a tool Podman to get that image. Okay, so while I am using Podman, if I am writing directly a command Podman, my system will not understand. My system will not tell that the error command not found. Okay, so what are the required package to run this Podman? What is the prerequisite? Okay, let me write here. Okay, so to run the container using the Podman, you must have to, if you are already know what is the module in the package management chapter of your RHEL 8 version system admin 2 course. If you are exposed to not system admin 2, sorry, system admin 1 package management, and there is a repository we are getting with the upstream repository we are creating to store all the module package. Okay, so if you want to go with the container management, you first have to install the module. Okay, so for that you need to know how I install a modular software. So you have to use the yum module install command. Like earlier you are using some group packages, yum group install command, so it will install all the container modules. Okay, all the container tools. In case for example, not only the Podman, how I can know information about the image, how I can copy or sign the image. And I am going here Scopio. Okay, or Builda, all the tools. Okay, I just write here. So all the tools. No, if I am not exposed to the module install command module things or upstream repository, I have no such idea, I am not already exposed. So all of you are knowing how to install the individual RPM, you can go for that. Yum install Podman and give the confirmation. Okay, yes or no. So once the software is installed, then only you are managing with the Podman your containers and container images. Okay, next to that, so I have to run the application. As I said that as a operating system perspective, when I defined the container is a process running inside the sandbox, and it is running on top of host operating system. Host operating system, I define that either it is a physical machine or it is a virtual machine, or you can say any private or public cloud, AWS cloud or OpenStack cloud, anywhere you can run your application. Okay, so so when I run in my example, I show you on a virtual machine. If I want to run my container, so where the image is available in some registry. So this is the container images are available in the registry server. Okay, so what are the registry server? So it is a private registry. Your organization uses any kind of private registry, or you can say all of you might know that public registries. Okay, public registry, suppose for example all might be docker io. Okay, docker.hub.io. Okay, next you can say registry docker io you can say, or you can say registry from red hat, registry dot redhat io. Okay, or these are nothing but the registry from where I am getting the images. I'm not explain much here, but yes, some might be use the qa registry or registry connect.redhat.com. Okay, so these are the registry, registry.access.redhat.com. So from where you are getting the images. Okay, next is or you can go for the uh, public registry as well. Oh, sorry, local registry you can say, local registry. So in my classroom setup, I am referring a local registry in secure registry. So if you don't have internet connection, so when you are getting the images from Docker IO, so I don't mention Docker Hub, so it will be conflict. Okay. So when you want to get some images from Docker IO or registry.redhat.io, please check your internet connection. Okay. To before pulling the images from the registry. So in my example, I will show you both, and from the Docker registry where the container image limited container images are available in this local registry server. Okay, fine. So now the image is available in the registry server where I have to run my application. I have to run my application on top of my virtual machine, let's say. So for that, I install the package. My podman command is ready. Now I have to get that image to my local registry, from the from my local registry to my um, local system. So how I can do that? So now let us go with the practical. So just few couple of minutes, I just stop sharing to open all the virtual machines ready. So just give me few minutes to, because I have to connect to the machine right now through any desk. Okay. So let me connect to my personal laptop that I use the Windows operating system, and on top of that, I am running the CentOS 8. So here I can go to demonstrate. Okay, perfectly fine. Let me connect with the putty. Okay, yes, fine. So now I connected to this machine. Okay, so now first I have to log in some registry. Okay, so some of the public registry. Let me increase the screen bit, maximize. Okay, so podman login. Okay, suppose registry dot redhat.io. I want to log in here. If you have the credential, if you have an account in Docker, yes, you can go for it. So prior to that, I have to check which version of Podman I already install in my system. Okay. So always go with the latest installation, 1.19 onwards, you can use. Okay. 1.9 onwards. So if it 2.0, 2.1, that's good, because upcoming session we are discussing some more thing. Okay. So let me log in, Podman login, my registry path. So because I told that podman is a tool. Okay, so podman is a tool. Okay, like Docker is a tool, Podman is a tool to manage the containers, and these tools are compatible with the open container initiative. Okay, open container initiative, organization might use the Docker, Rocket, Drawbridge, Alexis, Alexi, or you can say they can use to manage any Linux containers created by the OCI compatible engines. So Docker is a OCI compatible engine. Okay, so I am these tools are specifically designed to run the containers under the Red Hat Enterprise Linux on a single node container host. So I have to use a tool here, Podman. Okay, so Podman login, registry.redhat.io, redhat.io, authentic with existing credential. Okay, I already logged in with my account. So Podman logout. Uh, okay, so which registry I log in? Let me try with the same redhat.io. Okay, fine. So let me re-log in again. You have to give your credential, and I am giving the password. Okay, fine. So now I log into the registry. So I want to search in this registry. I want to search for some images. So what can I do? So there is a command called podman search. Okay. Suppose as I told, you can run multiple application. So httpd podman search httpd. It's the first time saying httpd because all of you are familiar with this http application. No, someone is telling I am a database admin. Any MySQL images or MariaDB or any images are available. I want to list out, so I have to search in the registry. So you are getting here registry.redhat MySQL 55. I will tell you what exactly this naming convention. Okay, OpenShift 3 RHSCL. Okay, some MySQL hyphen 56 RHL7. Next, suppose any log images if you want to search, Podman search RSys log. Okay, so here you have to ask one question: how the system know it's you are I'm running in a top of VM. So how this operating system know that which registry I'm referring? Yes or no? So let me go to that whiteboard again. Okay, let me minimize this and come back to my whiteboard. Okay, fine. So how, where I have to locate my registry path? How it will know which kind of registry you are using? Which kind of registry you are using? Okay, it's Orchid. Okay, so now let me make a note over here. Sorry. Okay, fine. So here, okay. So how I know the registry path? Okay, so the registry path, because someone is saying that I am using Docker IO or I am using some private registry. How someone come to know what is your registry path, what is the default location? If you are doing in a root user, okay, so the default path is etc containers registry, spelling must be correct. Okay, registries.conf. Okay, and next, if you run this one as a root user, it's always not secure one. As all of you know, non-root user or rootless architecture is always run your application in a secure way. So if you want to mention the registry path, what is my registry I am using to get the container images, so you have to, as a non-root user, you need to create. Okay, where you have to specify. Okay, as an unroot user or rootless user, you can say the path you need to create inside the home directory. Okay, inside the home directory I am using just like an environment variable symbol just as a syntax. You have to use dot config containers Okay, and here in this directory you must have to create first. It is not already created, then you have to copy paste or you have to create it manually. Registries dot conf. Okay, so I can show you here as I am in root user. Let me show you first as a root user, then I proceed with the non-root user. So let me again back to my screen. As remotely I connected the system, it a bit slower. Okay, fine. Now here I am. I just clear the screen with the control L switch. Then I want to check my registry path, which kind of registry. As I said over here, as a root user, the default path is etc containers registry.conf. Now if I scroll down, you can see which registry I can search. Okay, I am enabling access.redhat.com. I am enabling redhat.io. I have a Docker account. Okay, so these three registry I can use to get my, this is the path where I can get the container images. Okay, and yes, if you are using any private registry you can mention. And if you are if you, this is a insecure registry, I don't make much. If you are using any security, you can put over here TLS encryption. While you are yeah, while you are pulling the images, it is asking some certificate, self signed certificate or something. Or this is here the block. Suppose you don't have internet connection, you want to block some registry, you can put over here. Okay, in tomorrow's demo of OpenShift introduction I will show you this concept. Fine. So now next to my job is, so this is the thing, this is the connections. I show you that I am using some registry.redhat.io. I am searching some images. Next, how I am using a podman search command or podman tool to search the images from the registry server. Next, my job, how I run a container. So before running a container, let me again go back. Let me close this anydesk connection. Okay, fine. So next point here I have to highlight it. Okay, okay. Now I am going to show you how to let are you able to see my screen? Okay, let me check once what happened. Okay, so I'm getting one message that screen sharing is stopped. Um, anyway, I will proceed with the stop. Give me some few minutes. Sorry for the interruption. Let me give you a private, sorry, give me a local registry example. And I have to run a container. Okay, and here I have to make a point. Note that when our batch is going to be started, OpenShift batch, you people are aware of that. All the things this is a completely practical training, and I recommend that all of you have to do all the guided exercise and lab exercises provided in your book. In your soft copy is issued in the day one of training. Kindly follow and complete that part, then only you are getting some proof of concept, and conceptually you are clearing, and you are get make yourself ready for the certification. Okay, with the with uh, with a less period of time, I can say. Okay, fine. So Let me give some example. Okay, so I'm trying to connecting uh, because as all we know in this virtual training, this kind of issue happen while we are doing something network issue. But anyway, I have already with ready with my backups, and let me check with that. Okay, fine. So let me share the screen as well, so you people also go with me together. And lastly, whatever we discuss, we have together solve a we have to together solve a quick discussion, a quick quiz that how much you are gaining this what exactly the container is. So another few couple of minutes I need to wait to connect to my machine. Okay, fine, everything is ready. And let me make sure that you people as well see my screen over here. Let me share it and verify. Fine. So I hope the screen is visible, and I just increase the font size, and I have to increase the font size. This is quite good. And I have to configure this one to in the server A machine. Okay. Now next to my job is first, as I said, you have to install the to run the podman command. Earlier I shown you in my personal setup. I already installed the podman. Okay, but here I am showing you as I said that no only not only the podman. I want to install all the container modules. Okay, all the container tools with the yum module install command. Let me go with that. Yum module install container hyphen tools hyphen y. Okay, and the password of this machine student user is student. As you all know, to install a package, root user privilege is required. Okay, so you can observe here what it is actually installing: run c, podman, scopio. Okay, builda. Okay, so I am going to discuss what exactly scopio will do, what is builda. Okay, the define I just define. And yes, I am not exploring much on builda. This is restricted to this course, but yes, of course, I am using the tool scopio. So here it will take some minutes to install. Container networking plugin, CRI. Okay, container runtime initiative module. Lot of things it is going to install when you are installing the entire modules. Okay, container tools. So as I said, in this setup of where I'm demonstrating, there is a local registry is pre-configured where the images are available. Some specific kind of images are there in that registry server. So we have to work on that. And you can see Podman 1.9 version is installing. As I said, Podman 1.9 onwards, it's good for your practice. Okay, fine. It's done. Next, I have to log in to my registry. So this is a regular user. As I mentioned, the regular user where the path is mentioned inside the home directory. I am already in the student user home directory dot config containers registry.conf. Okay, so this is nothing but my registry location. Okay, and insecure, obviously yes, it is true, I'm passing the boolean value. And blocked, no, this is not the blocked registry. This is just unqualified search registry. This is pre-configured in this setup. Okay, as a local registry server. Okay, next my job is I want to log into the registry using a tool podman. Login, I have to give my path registry dot lab dot example com. Okay, here I have to log in, and the username password already mentioned where the question is defined. Okay, so I have to use Okay, I log in to the registry using the podman. Next my job is what? I have to check in my server A system. In my this server A is nothing but a virtual machine. On the server A, any images are there, so how I can check? Nothing. Okay, so any container is running? Nothing, because the container image is available in the registry server. So how I get the image? So I am using a command here, podman pull. Okay, and I have to specify my registry path, registry lab dot example.com. You can search, as I said earlier, search that one and you have to mention. So this is nothing but the registry path, RHL8. What is RHL8? The user or the organization name who developed this container image. Okay, so this is nothing but while I am running a basic container, there is something called, first you have to mention the registry name, then the next field is the username, means it represents the user or the organization to which the image is belongs. Okay, after that which image you want to use. Okay, image name, and that name must be unique in the user namespace. Okay, so I have to give here, suppose I have want to give httpd hyphen 24. This is a unique image name, and if you want to specify uniquely, you have to add some tag. And remember here one point, make a note: each image, if you don't specify anything, the default image tag is what? Latest. Okay, its tag is just for your specification. Now I'm pulling that image from my local registry server to my local system server A. Okay. So while I'm pulling, I'm seeing that copying one layer, image layer, copying block, copy config, okay, writing some manifest to the image destination. So image is nothing but container image is nothing but a immutable, unchangeable, read-only entity. Okay, so that is available, or someone built that image. Okay, package that image with all its dependencies, libraries, or you can say whatever the services is required for running that application. Okay, now it's fine. So now if I verify podman images, image is available with a unique image id, and the created time and size. Okay, so now I have to run my container, podman. Okay, run. While you are running a container, it's not always recommend that you have to give a name, but it's a better practice, okay, to give a name so that you can easily identify how many containers are running with this name already, or not, because this is a unique name. Okay, name, then I had to get a interactive terminal. Why the interactive terminal I am using here? Because I want to get inside the container my web, and I have to check there is the processes are running in the student and server A virtual machine are inside the container same process, and how the definition define that namespace isolate that processes. So I have to use interactive terminal, then my image. So better I have to do copy paste. So podman, unnecessarily writing and writing the things, copy paste is a good practice over here. Podman run. Okay, hyphen name. Okay, and my container name is suppose web application, and interactive terminal I have to paste. Not required, because by default tag is a default tag. So let me copy and paste over here. Okay, it's not get copied, mouse also not working properly. Okay, anyway, so now it's copied. I want a cell bin bash, interactive terminal option I specify. Okay, fine. Now I am inside the container. Now I want to check the container processes. What are the processes are running right now? What is the ID? Can I check any files or anything there inside my container? Nothing is there. So if something is there, total number of files or directories or anything is there, if you want to list out, you cannot use ll command. ll command, it will throw you error. Okay, so be specific, it's not alias will work. Okay, you have to use ls hyphen l. Okay, so this way you can get inside the container and you are getting that I am in student user but inside my container, because container processes are isolated from the host operating system. Let me come out. Someone is asking, no, I don't want to get inside the container. Okay, I want to check you are running the container with the httpd image. What is the version of the httpd image? After I am verifying, you can after I am verifying that command is exist, I have to come out. Okay, I have to remove that container. So how I can do that part? Podman run. Similar way you can perform with the docker, just I am replacing the word with the keyword with the podman. Okay, registry dot red hat, sorry, sorry, the image path is registry dot lab dot, I am habituated with redhat.io. Okay, registry dot lab dot example dot com and rhl8. Okay, and what is that image? httpd 24. Okay, and what I have to write here, I am running and removing. So while I am running, I want to check the version. Okay, so I have to pass a command, what is the httpd version. Okay, so now it's removed also. If you can see here, podman ps, nothing is running. If you are seeing in the terminal, okay, sorry, all the things you can see here, it's exited. Okay, so to check the running containers, the command is podman ps. And if you want to check any stopped or exited container, you can go with the podman ps hyphen a. No, I want to run as a detached mode. Okay, same image I want to run. Okay, now I'm not giving any name over here. This is the image, and I want to stop the image first, then only it is better to understand how to stop. So similar way, podman ps hyphen a, one container is exited, it is created 2 minutes before and status is exited. Now I have to run a command here, podman. Okay, fine. Stop the container, stop. Okay, web. So it is exited. So now I'm stopping it. Okay, so now next, if I have to verify, okay, so same exited 2 minutes ago, it will so the print the message over here, it is having showing the container id. Either you can give the podman stop container name or you can use this unique id. Okay, so next I have to remove it, podman rm, then my container name is web. Okay, so now if I see podman ps, none of the running container, none of the stopped or exited container. Okay, now I run the container. Okay, I'm not using any interactive terminal or anything like such. I have to run with a detached mode. Okay, so I have to use a switch over here, hyphen d. This is my container name. If you don't specify also, as I said, it will randomly generate a name. That's all. Okay, I want to run a container with in a detached mode. Okay, so everything is not coming in the front for in my foreground. Okay, so now if I hit enter, okay, so now you see podman ps, what is the container name. Okay, so now I'm running the container in a detached mode, but it will not, oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Now I have to check podman ps. See, uh, pedantic blackwell, some of the random name it will generate. So this way, if you want to identify here one container is there, you can understood, okay, this is the container generated with this name. So better practice is that you have to use the hyphen hyphen switch. Okay, so now if I want to stop this one and remove this one, so first you have to stop. Either you use the container name or you can use the container id. So let me go with the container ID now. Okay, so now it is stopped. To check the running container list, PS. To check the exited stopped container list, PS hyphen A. Okay, so now and now in the backend I see One I am running with the bin bash, so it is coming this one I am just running with this. Okay, so random name it will. I want to remove all at a time. Podman rm hyphen a. Okay, so all of the container a stands for all. Okay, so now if I use a switch, nothing is there. So this way I just explained that how to run the basic commands. Okay, how to find the container images, what is the path, how to use the podman search command, where the and how I know if someone tell me the command, I don't know what is the configuration file, but I want to check the registry path. So another command I am writing here, podman info. What are the registry you are using? Okay, so when I'm giving podman info command, okay, so I have to go to the registry section, or you can pipe grep as well. You can see in the search in the registries. Okay, so if you want to check what kind of registry, if you, in case you don't know, so you have to run a command, what, podman info. Okay, so this way you have to you use the podman command to start, stop, and pull and run a container. Okay, and you can manage the container image. Next part. Okay, so here I have to make a, how I know about the container image, how I know the information about the container images. So to get the container images information, you have to use a tool called what? Scopio. So let me write over here and explain you. Scopio. Scopio is a tool, okay, container tool. It is used to inspect, okay, or inspect means it is gather, okay. It will gather the information, gather the information regarding container image. Okay, so information means what is the version, what is the tag, or what is the port number. I don't remember what is the PostgreSQL database port number, that database port number I don't know. Okay, who designed, okay, what are the environment variables are used. So to know the information about, or to collect the information about the images, we are using a tool Scopio, which using which we can inspect the image. We can not only inspecting the image, okay, so we can copy, delete, and copy, delete, and also we are at in a develop other course, advanced module course, you are using the Scopio, you can also sign the image. Okay, sign the container image, okay, using the Scopio tool. So now suppose I have to check here podman ps, none of the containers are running. Podman ps hyphen a, none of the containers are in the stop state, and I have on images, podman images, there is a image is available here. Now I want to remove that one. Okay, so how I remove the image? If someone is, suppose I again run the container detached mode, hyphen name, suppose my web application is running, and I have to give the image path. This is my image path, this is the image with the latest tag. Copy, and I have to paste over here. Okay, now it is running. Now you want to remove the image. To remove the image, docker rmi, or you can use podman rmi. Okay, so if you don't also remember, there is a help option, as you people are acquainted to check the options. Okay, lot of option you are getting, how to check the versions. Okay, so lot of information how to start. So rmi is what? Removes one or more images from the local storage. Okay, so rm means what? Remove one or more container. Okay, but rmi is what? Remove the image. rmi, I means image. Okay, so how to tag, how to untag, a lot of commands you can use with the podman, you can explore. So now I have to podman ps. Okay, and I have this application is running using this image. Okay, if I try podman rmi, okay, and I have to give, sorry, unable to name match what name. Okay, it's not podman images, uh, images. Okay, I want to remove podman rmi. I just remove the image now from my local storage. I just see the information, I just copy it and paste it. What happened? Because some of the container might be running or in the stop state, but they are using this image. So you cannot, if someone is using this image and one container is running with this image, you cannot use the rmi command. Yes, you can go for forcefully, but this forcefully